Good morning, guys. It's just right, probably 10 minutes before sunrise here in Central Texas. And today we are loading right at half of our commercial steers, or Clancy's commercial steers, to take to the butcher. So I'm going to pull over here and hook the cattle trailer up. Clancy's just heading out of the house about now. He's going to go over to the barn and start getting gates and stuff set up so that we can walk the steers around and load them. This is one of those things, guys, you know, we enjoy raising these cattle and can't wait to eat them. But this last day here, these last few hours here is very important, because you want to be as easy on them and handle them as smoothly and easily as you can. So you know, we don't want to do a bunch of hooping and hollering and run them into something and hip them. What that means, you know, make them hit a piece of pipe or something, because that'll bruise that meat and then that makes it less desirable. So we're just going to ease them around this morning. I'm going to have to go back here. I've got my hay spikes in on my truck. I'm going to have to take those out so I can back up to the old cattle trailer over here, and then we're going to get backed up over here and load these steers out. And I'm going to take y'all with us, and we're going to drop them off at our butcher and kind of go through that, what that looks like on a day like today. And then I don't know what else we'll do. We might talk about something else. So come along. Sometimes we get asked about this bed, how it works and stuff. So these spikes, they store right here under the bed so that you always got them with you. You're not having to hunt around and find them. They just go in there like that. This is going to fold up. We're going to back up to the trailer and get hooked up. I guess Clance didn't jack it up high enough last time he unhooked. I think it's pretty close. Back another inch or two. That get it? Close enough for the girls I date. Come on now. We have to give it a little rattle with the whole truck. Might can do it this way. Move that over here. Get the old right on. Perfect. Now then, we're going to hook up the old lights back here. And right here, we're gonna let the jack come on. Good to go. Now, normally I would load that, but I'm not planning on having a flat today, so. Let's go check it. Let's go see if Bub's getting it ready. All right, trailer is backed up. We'll pass this off to Mom now. I'll take care of this. Go put your goat up.
What?
Go put that goat up. Put that guy right there. That window right there. All right, we're good to go there.
Well, if you're standing up there, like, and then you have to.
All right, walk them out, bub. Mom, you might have to back up a few steps. Don't go into that corner behind them like that. You're going to get stuck. Don't.
Trying to get out of.
You need to quit wearing rubber boots that are 4 sizes too big for you. Come on, boys. Come on, boys. Walk on up there. Hey, boys. One of you take a step. Hey, boys. Hey. One of you take that step. Hey. Walk up there. Walk up there, big boy. There you go. Hey, walk on up there, fatty. Hey, hey guys, walk up there. Hey, get out of the corner. Hey, walk up there now. Shut that cut gate on them so they don't move as much. Get in there and slap him on the side of the face real easy so he'll turn his head. Dang, it was so aggravating. All right, guys, so this morning is the final day for these guys. They're headed to the butcher plant this morning, and we just got these 4 steers loaded. These are the steers that Clancy hand fed in his commercial steer feedlot pen right here. And hopefully by this afternoon we'll have hanging weights on them. It may be tomorrow before we get that information, but when we get that, then we'll be able to know, kind of give you an idea of what percentage they dressed and kind of, you know, what their final numbers are. Really, these cattle should have went to slaughter the first of the year, you know, kind of like when the contest started or ended in January. They probably had about 20 days too long, maybe. They're just getting bigger, and what happens as they get bigger is their productivity decreases, meaning they're not getting as much lean muscle gain as they are fat gain, and we don't need all that fat at the end like that. So, but in our area, most all your locker plants shut down so they can process deer, and they can't process deer and cattle at the same time. So, with that said, I know their yields are going to be a little lighter now than what they should have been when they really should have been butchered. So, but we'll get those numbers for you later. So, stay tuned and keep ranching. So, guys, as I'm sitting here waiting on Clarence to change shoes because I ain't riding all the way to the locker plant with them feedlot boots on because they are ripe, I promise you. I look back through the paperwork, and these steers on January the 2nd, they averaged 1,376 pounds. And their average daily gain at that time was 4.6 pounds a day. So it means that at that time they were gaining a little over 4.5 pounds a day. And that was after you shrink them. So it's actually a little higher than that on their live weight. I mean, before you shrink them. So, and what is shrink? Well, I'd ask Clarence, but he's super hoarse and you can't understand nothing he says. So what shrink is the amount of weight your calf loses, like what these calves are going to lose from the feed yard to the processing plant, to the packer. So they're going to lose about 3% of their body weight in just pooping, peeing, stress, all that kind of stuff. So with all that said, if these steers continued to gain at the rate they were, and I'm going to drop it back to 4 pounds because they're going to lose a little bit of their efficiency. So let's say they gained 4 pounds a day for the last roughly 30 days. They should have added 120 pounds to their weight as of January the 2nd. So that means that right now these cattle should average pretty close to 1,500 pounds. And if you do a 64% dressing percentage, meaning what they're going to hang from their live weight to their carcass weight, their hanging carcass weight, they should hang about 960 pounds, which is a lot. That's big, guys. Really bigger than we'd like them to be. I'd really like these cattle to hit the plant floor there, weighing about 1,400, but it just doesn't always work out that way. So I'd really like to have about a 900-pound carcass, but it is what it is. We just got to go when we can go. So, all right. Well, we're headed to Hamilton, Texas, to Hamilton Quality Meats. We've been processing there for, heck, I don't know, 10 or 15 years now, and they do us a good job, and we're going to continue to do that for the foreseeable future. So when we get there, we'll show you some unloading. All right, so we've made it to the locker plant. We're going to get these calves unloaded here, but I want to show you guys something. So our plant can kill about 5 to 6 steers a day. And we've got a steer here that I want to show you guys. This is not ours. I don't see a brand on it, so. This right here is almost a waste of the butcher plant's time and the people that are slaughtering that animal's time and money. That calf, I mean, he doesn't appear to have a broken leg or anything, but he's not going to yield any beef at all because he's too little. He's not even close to finished, and that steer probably weighs 600 pounds at the most. If he dressed 60%, that's 360 pounds, and in 60% of that, you might get 180 pounds of beef off of him, and it's not going to have any finish to it. It's just not going to be good, guys. Clarence, go pull up a little bit. Go pull up a little bit. So So guys, with that said, I see this a lot is like, hey, I want to get me a calf. I want to get me a butcher date. Then I'm gonna go to the sale barn and buy a calf and bring him right up here and get him. You're not going to be satisfied with your beef, and you're not going to be satisfied with any of it. So do a little research and find out for sure what you need to do before you start trying to get into this. Or just find somebody that already knows what they're doing. Let them do it for you. All right, so that gate will swing around there, bub. Morning. All right, guys, had to get the microphone to connect up, but so let me kind of give you an idea of what's going to happen. Is these steers of ours, they're going to go around this corner right here and go into this door, and then that's what they call the kill box, and that's where they'll get dispatched. Then you can see that this building's real tall. That's because they'll hoist that carcass up in the air. They'll be skinned, gutted, bled out. I know this might be shocking to some of you, but that's just the process. Then they'll go in and be chilled down to about 33 degrees, 32 degrees, and they'll hang there for 14 days. Then they'll come out and be processed and then be frozen. Cut into when I say processed, cut into your different cuts. But that's kind of what's going to happen now. I've talked with the owner here, and I believe when he gets ready to process either this bunch of steers or the other ones that we have at home, he's going to let us come in and do some filming and show you how they cut those different cuts of meat and show you exactly what goes on there in that in the processing part of it. I'm not going to take y'all through the kill floor, but I want to turn you around here and just show you the difference in these animals right quick. So as you can see, there's a pretty big difference between these calves right here. So what that means is there's going to be a big difference in the quality of the meat too. So keep that in mind when you're buying cattle or you're wanting to feed something out, is know what your end goal is. Maybe the person that brought that calf is one of them carnivores or something, don't want any fat in it. They just want lean beef, and that's exactly where they want their calf to be. I don't know. I know I want mine to have some fat in it and taste good, so that's why we get them like we do here. So we're going to stop right there. We'll see what else we can do later. Okay, guys, so this is a day or two after I took the steers to the locker plant, and we got our numbers back, some of the numbers, so I'm going to kind of go through that with you. So those steers had a hanging weight of around not a hanging weight, let me start over. Those steers had a live weight of average on the 4 steers that we took of 1505. They had an average hanging weight, which is after they've been dispatched, decapitated, skinned, their legs cut off at their knees and their hocks on their rear legs, and gutted and hung up on the rail. So their hanging weight, average hanging weight, was 933 pounds. So their dressing percentage on those steers was 62%. And what that means is that 62% of their live weight is what their meat's going to hang on the rail. Now then, when you process them, depending on how you have them processed, you're going to get around 60 to 65% of that is going to be retail cut, the beef that you bring home. So I don't have my phone on me, but out of that 933 pounds, they should yield somewhere around 500 to 550 pounds of meat, depending on how you have them processed. If you're leaving bones in, obviously it's going to weigh more, so that can construe that a little bit. But so did good. I mean, I knew that though their hanging percentages, their dressing percentage was going to go down a little bit because they stayed on feed a little bit too long. But with that said, they're still above industry average, or right at the industry average. So I'm not disappointed with that. It's just I knew it was going to happen. But the next question will be, well, how did they grade? Were they prime? Were they upper 2/3 choice, lower third choice? That definitely won't be select. But where we process, they are not inspected there. It's just a little private butcher plant. There's some strings, some loops you have to go to, some hoops you have to jump through to be a inspected plant. And 25 years ago, when this man built this facility, he didn't have it set up to be inspected. When I talked to him when we dropped our calves off, he said, if I ever build another plant, I'll have it where it's can be USDA inspected. So what I'm going to go off of, these calves, we had 9 calves on feed. The man that we buy our calves from, that we feed out for this program, gets the data back on all that. He sends his calves through a program called Prime Pursuits, which is set up through 44 farms out of Cameron, Texas. Those calves, they buy back calves from men and women that have bought bulls from them and other breeders, but they have to be, certified Angus beef. They send those calves through the feed yard, and you can get all the data back on them. So the pen mates, the calves that this group of calves came out of, we're beginning to get a lot of the data back on those calves, and about 37% of those calves are grading prime, so just say 40%, and all the rest of them are grading upper 2/3 choice, and maybe 1% lower 2/3 choice or lower 1/3 choice. But so 40% of them are going to grade prime. Out of the 9 head we've got, that means about 4 of them are going to grade prime. So I'm going to say that these calves are going to grade probably upper 2/3 choice at a minimum. And I think that's a pretty good idea. The butcher, he's been doing it for 25 years. He looks at them and says, hey, these calves are all going to grade prime. But I don't know that I can't, say that for a fact because they haven't been inspected by a USDA inspector. So that's where we're at on that. In a few weeks, all of those calves we have sold to different people, so we're not bringing any of that beef back to our house. So when we do get one of the last 5 that we have left here processed and we bring home that meat, we'll go over some of that stuff with you guys then. If we don't end up, we've got a good bit of beef left over from last year, so I may end up selling, we were going to bring home a whole one or maybe a half. We may just go ahead and sell that, and then we're going to put some more cattle on feed this year and try to sell some more beef. So if we end up getting some beef brought home, we're going to show you that. So until next time, thanks for joining us. We appreciate you. Like and subscribe, and give us some comments down below. We'll try to get back to you guys on those. And y'all keep ranching.
Keep ranching.
E-Dog said keep it. Let's see. Look, see if I can go to a birthday party.
You're going to, so
I'm not going.
Go
I'm
on.
not going.
Keep ranching, y'all.